marching on to victory. NNB we marching, NNB we marching, marching on to victory.
Tell them again.
NNB we marching on to victory. NNB we marching, NNB we marching, marching on to victory. Jump and shout, tell it all about, we shall have the victory.
When me say,
Jump and shout,
alright,
tell it all about, we shall have the victory.
hey,
Me and me neighbor
yes man,
in the house together.
alright,
Me and me neighbor,
oh man,
revealing Grenada.
yes man,
Me and me neighbor in
alright,
the house together.
yes man,
Me and me neighbor, voting men in peace. Jump and shout, tell it all about, we shall have the victory. With NNB leading the way,
on ahead,
we are seeing better days.
yes sir,
Grenadians will decide, NNB give us pride, so we ain't gonna make no change.
no change,
NNB leading the way,
right away,
we are seeing better days.
yes me friend,
Grenadians will decide, NNB give us pride, so we ain't gonna make no change.
no change,
Me and the neighbor
yes man,
in the house together.
alright,
Me and the neighbor
oh yes,
in Grenada.
no change,
Me and the neighbor
yes man,
in the house together.
alright,
Me and the neighbor,
no change,
voting and peace. Jump and shout,
jump and shout,
tell it all about,
yeah man,
we shall have the victory.
we must win, eh,
Jump and shout,
yeah man,
tell it all about,
everybody,
we shall have the victory. Dr. Mitchell, he will lead the way.
and him and we boss,
Dr. Mitchell, he will lead the way.
I'm bad man that,
NNB we marching, NNB we marching, marching on to victory.
everybody,
Dr.
everybody,
Mitchell, he will lead the way.
yeah man,
Dr. Mitchell, he will lead the way.
yes sir,
NNB we marching, NNB we marching, marching on to victory.
alright now,
Me and the neighbor
yes
in
sir,
the house together.
no change,
Me and the neighbor
alright,
revealing Grenada.
yes man,
Me and the neighbor
no change,
revealing Grenada.
alright,
Me and the neighbor
okay,
in the house together.
yeah,
Me and the neighbor
alright,
voting men in peace.
yes man,
Me and the neighbor
no change,
This is not politics. Please don't forget. I'm just practicing to be a poet. Not qualified as yet, but have no fear. I'm gonna get there. I'm not in this world to live up to your expectation. Neither are you in to live up to mine. I don't owe no one, no obligation. No one owes me none, so everything is fine, fine. As I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. Serious business. There is a time for everything, and for everything there is a season. So man and man must reason.
And a good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott. I will be with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. It's now 5 minutes after the hour of 10 o'clock. Well, no, not 10. 5 minutes after the hour, 8 o'clock. I reached quite down 10 already, you know. It is 5 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada.
You not refrain, you not refrain. I remember you saying
Someone was asking for me to pull back one of them tunes I was playing from before the before we actually start the program. No problem, you know. Your wish is my command.
but you treat
Na 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 yellow.
Just letting the numbers build.
Na na na
See, they are building and building quite quickly.
na yellow. Goodbye.
What the people want?
Green,
What Grenada want?
green,
What Carrico want?
green,
Pity Matnik want?
green.
And the people can't take no more. Yeah, the belt into motor blow. Only below belly they punching. Granny and the gun they groaning. Since yellow get the power, they touch a little pension mama. So she calling on the way, please. Bring back Jonah to save Grenada.
We want back Jonah. Bring back Jonah. We want back Jonah to save Grenada.
What the people want?
Green,
What Grenada want?
green,
What Carrico want?
green,
Pity Matnik want?
green. Na 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 yellow. Goodbye. Na 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 yellow. Goodbye.
She said, tell the world don't worry. Just bring back Jonah Bowie. We give him two for the price of one. He get into a the yellow man. Man, you know that don't have a plan. Why the hell they take the island? Now Grenada in misery. Only Jonah could rescue we.
We want back Jonah. Bring back Jonah. We want back Jonah to save Grenada.
What the people want?
Green,
What Grenada want?
green,
What Carrico want?
green,
Pity Matnik want?
green. Na 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 yellow. Goodbye. Na 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 yellow. Goodbye.
Since you don't get the power, they only fighting one another. One time the party break up, next thing you hear they make up. And the man who signed the contract, you don't hear nothing more about that. They keeping things on the low, next election they hold the door.
We want back Jonah. Bring back Jonah. We want back Jonah to save Grenada.
What the people want?
Green,
What Grenada want?
green,
What Carrico want?
green,
Pity Matnik want?
green.
The people want? Grenada want? Carrico want? Pity Matnik want?
Green, green.
Yes, that one was by special request, you know. Folks, it is now 9 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock. I think we've got enough of you in. Let me just make sure. Yeah. Let me see who I'm seeing over on the Facebook. Good night to you, Andra, Doralyn, Neil, Mavis, Antonito, Donna, Petra. Let me see, Linda, Imelda, Francois, Leroy. I'm seeing you there, Louisa, JC Sherry, ShopRite, Duncan. Good night, Bernadette Ramsey. Denise, Fabio, Ruth DeRiggs, Norma, Teresa, William, Jakim, Petra. Yeah, good night to you, Sharon. Dana Abraham, good night. Donna, good night to you, and Yolan, Norma, Maria, Landon, Hey, Beyonce. Wow. Okay. Beyonce, good night to you. Kimita, Rodney, Shemi, as usual, girl. Good night. Good night, and good night to Kata. Even though I didn't see she named it yet, I know she's somewhere around. All right. Elon, good night to you. Tyrone, Phyllis. Let me see. Jillian, Cindy. Yeah. I think I mentioned those names already. Shauna. Yeah, Agatha. Good night to you. Let me see. McLean, good night. Toya. Good night, girl. Curtis, good night. Yeah, so all of you over there on the Facebook Live, good night to you. And Public, Notice, Renwick, Wilfred, Marlon, Dave, Dale, Sandra, April, Fitzroy, Alcy, Jacinta, yeah, Sherma, Oswald, I'm seeing Agnes, all of you, Mr. Watts, Adrian, good night to you. Wilfred and Fitzroy, Christine, Augie, Henry, Caitlin, I'm seeing Michelle, I'm seeing Faithlin, all of you out there, Gertrude, Abraham, good night. I'm sure Jean, Gavin, all of you out there on the YouTube, a special good night to each and every one of you. Nice. So you know, let me start the thing now, because I know if you want to play a game with me tonight, I know maybe we could play a look at something tonight. You know, we could do a look at something, find all how I shuffle the pack, all how I shuffle that pack. I try all, I just keep coming up with a joker on it. All all how I shuffle that pack. No, he's not a gambler. He doesn't play wappy and thing. Wrong. Man who does be on radio, if you're talking about man who does be in wappy in St. David, that people that send money for, and you just go and spend 6,000, 8,000 and thing in wappy in St. David, that is not me. All right, wrong radio man. All right, but I find a pack shuffling, but all how the pack shuffle is a joker that coming out on the top. We shuffle the pack, all how we keep just getting jokers. All you, no matter how we shuffle that pack, a joker just seems to be coming out on top no matter how the pack is shuffled. Because I'm hearing about shuffles. I'm hearing about shuffles. Don't be surprised very, very soon that you're hearing about shuffles. Yeah? But as I said, no matter how you shuffle that pack, we shuffle it left, you shuffle it right, I'm shuffling it all how. No matter how we shuffle that pack, it's the same thing that keep coming out. You understand? Yeah. All you want to know who gain one ministry? Me? I'm not the prime minister. That is not me to tell all you that. All I will tell all you is do not be surprised if you are hearing of a shuffle taking place, yeah? Do not be very surprised if you hear within the next couple days of a shuffle taking place with the present administration. You know, certain man might have to go by the Governor General and say, well, hey, I ain't think that person could handle where I put them. I think we want to try them somewhere else, and so, or we are aligning ministries and therefore we need to take ministries from there and bring it by me and all that kind of thing. Yeah, you might hear all kind of thing. Because listen, don't take it as nothing that you've seen Miss Andrea St. Bernard given a particular portfolio as I don't want to say ambassador, but it's like an ambassador at large, really. But that position, she is based in the Prime Minister's office, but that particular area is not based, well, at least at this time, in the Prime Minister's office. I see what I say, huh? All right. All I'm saying is do not be surprised. Do not be surprised. Do not be surprised if you hear that within the next day or two.
Like it change, that getting bad. Like it change, man now is crime on the double. If it change, them youth man getting rebel. There's some fellas that walk in the prison, teaching people to drive by the lights.
So all I'm saying is, yeah, do not be surprised if you're hearing about a shuffle taking place.
Sometimes I feel to cry. Then
I ain't want to speculate who going where and all kind of thing. You know, I'm hearing things. I hearing things that I hearing who going where and who coming out from where and the reason why and all kind of thing. But you know, some people, maybe they consider them politically to be disposable so that they could do them as they want and then blame them for everything when things go a certain direction. But all I will tell you is that expect something soon, possibly, you know. But you know they like to do things. Like on a Friday evening, they might send out a list and say, well, you know, as of next week, these are the new portfolios, or there's a slight change here. We pull in that person from there, we put in that person inside there and shift that person to so, and that person drop. Yeah, so you never know. Anytime within the next couple days, you just might see a press release come out saying that. You never know, you never know.
jail, man, get too hard.
Or special press conference, you realize this morning, lo and behold, special press conference this morning. Yeah, they're getting very press conferencey this week. So special press conference this morning, no prior notification to the media outside of about the 5 minutes before they went live with it. So I don't know how all of a sudden you're having a press conference and within 5 minutes you expect the media to make themselves available, that kind of thing. But here the worst part, you have a press conference this morning, yeah? And at that press conference, you are announcing that the Grenada Union of Teachers, well, we know the boss is a sellout, so we ain't expect nothing better from Jude. We know he's a sellout. Yeah, we know where he stand already. If NNP was in power, you'd be hearing him out. NDC in power, you don't hear him. And this morning, he was high in praise of the National Democratic Congress government, how they do this for workers and they do that for workers. Like he realized they have also been firing workers. They've also been making workers sign oaths of affirmation that they have been sending workers for nothing other than some minister don't like them. They've been sending these workers down to the Public Service Commission on a daily basis. You're having workers going down to the Public Service Commission and they're trying to find all sorts of trumped up charges. Right now, you need to fire the whole Public Service Commission, Madam Governor General. You need to have a talk with the Prime Minister about what's going on with the Public Service Commission. Your Excellency, respectfully, you need to have a chat with the Prime Minister because the Public Service Commission has been weaponized against the workers of Grenada. And if Teacher Jude, the people who are in the other unions, the leadership of the other unions, decide that they're going to sit down there and allow the Public Service Commission to be used as a sword of Damocles hanging over the heads of public workers, that anytime it seems as though they are not supportive of the present administration, or it seems as though they may have voted for the last administration, or they just don't like them, they're going to send these people before the Public Service Commission on all sorts of nonsensical trumped up charges. You know what this thing is going to cause though? This is going to cause some of those workers who are thus affected to take the government of Grenada to court. Yes, their employer, they have a right under the labor code, they can do that if they feel that their demotion or whatever it is has been done in a way that affects them. They have the right, they have the right to take their employer, which in this case is the government of Grenada, to court. And many of them, I am pretty sure, will do so. And due to some of the nonsense that I'm hearing, many of them will also win their cases. If it is brought before any court of law, they will win their cases, which means that the government will then find itself having to pay damages to these same workers that they're hauling before the Public Service Commission on all sorts of trumped up nonsense. That is what will happen. Yeah? They've weaponized the Public Service Commission against the workers of Grenada. You can accuse the New National Party, all kind of thing. You can't accuse them of that. All kind of people ending up every day, somebody new had to go down to the Public Service Commission. Imagine, they have gone so far as even to suspend a PS, a permanent secretary. They have taken a permanent secretary and they sent him on leave. That's the sort of thing that they're doing. What they call it, administrative leave. They've sent a permanent secretary on administrative leave. There's another acting permanent secretary that they refuse to put back as a permanent secretary. So they keep sending them on leave and leave and leave and leave and leave. And now they're in the process of demoting that individual and placing them in a lesser position in the Ministry of Education. To the point of where they've already made their decision on a political level, so they already create the office for the individual, they are outfitted. We're just waiting for the person's leave to finish to send them there. Yeah? Yeah, Mr. Norman Gilbert. We know it's all you're planning to do. Yeah? So that is what they've been doing. Using the Public Service Commission against the workers of Grenada, when the Public Service Commission is supposed to be used to assist these workers. Yes, discipline when necessary, but not discipline because somebody has a political problem with an individual. They just don't like that person. Or they find that person look like an NNP and I don't want them in my ministry. Because that is what we are seeing taking place. And again, I'm saying, you'll remember I said it tonight, they are going to be taken to court. The government will lose. And the government will find itself indebted to these very same people that they're trying to do these things to right now. Because imagine they fire until they fire the labor commissioner and all. In other words, the person who when people get fired, they're supposed to go to, they fire until they even fire she. That's to tell you how much they fire. That's akin to when the revolution locked up the Attorney General. Yeah, during the revolution, the Attorney General at the time was the late Lloyd Noel. Yeah? And he was the one that drafted the people's laws and so on. And Lloyd say something wrong, and next thing you know, Lloyd was up the hill too, you know. Yeah, the Attorney General under the same laws that he drafted. They use it and lock he up. I hope some people learn a lesson from that. The same laws that he drafted as the Attorney General under the People's Revolution, they used and they locked him up. So be very, very careful what it is you're looking to pass in a parliament. Yeah? So this is what is happening in our country right now. Yeah? You have the case of Mr. Tafawa Pierre, who was demoted from Deputy Commissioner of Police. They didn't even say, well, okay, we're going to demote him from there and make him Assistant Commissioner of Police, you know. No, they put him right down to Superintendent. Back to the substantive position he held before, back down to Superintendent. And what is the reasoning? Yeah? What is the reasoning that they have given for the demotion of Mr. Tafawa Pierre? What is the reasoning? Outside of the fact that he is the husband of a sitting MP on the opposition benches and the immediate former Minister of Education. Yeah? A 3-time parliamentarian, 2-time member of parliament for St. Andrew, well, 3. 3-time member, 4-time parliamentarian, yes, once as a senator, 3 times as the member of parliament for St. Andrew Southeast, 2013, 2018, and 2022. Yeah? And then was in the Senate between 2003 and 2008. So nothing more than the fact that he is the husband of Mrs. Emlyn Pear, Honorable Emlyn Pear, the MP for St. Andrew Southeast. That's the reason that they're trying to embarrass him and they're trying to demote him. But no matter what they do, he will always be successful and he will always be loved by the men and women of the Royal Grenada Police Force. Yeah? And as I mentioned, the police force, I realized that the officers, they've gotten a note. Yeah, they've gotten a note now. Yeah, police officers, and all they get a letter this morning, right after Sellout Jude. Yeah, that's his name now, Sellout Jude. Right after Sellout Jude went and signed. Yeah, because you see, Jude Bartholomew and the Grenada Union of Teachers, they operating like they ain't care about nobody else except themselves. So they're not relating with the police and prisons joint negotiating team. They ain't talking with them and tell them, well, look, we're about to sign, or let us stand together to get a better deal for everybody. No, they're operating on their own. Yeah, because you would realize what's taking place with Sellout Jude. Yeah? you would realize what's taking place with him. Nice? Yeah. So, he sell out. There is no if, what, or but about it. He had nothing bad to say about the government. Right? And now the police have received a letter, and before I take this call, I just want to read that letter that has gone out to the men and women of, what do you mean? Yeah, is that police too? Yeah, that has gone out to the men and women of the Royal Grenada Police Force. In fact, just before I do that, let me take this call, because sometimes, according to what people are calling from. Hello, good night.
Hey, Sheldon.
Hi, good night, brother.
How you doing, brother?
I'm great.
Hey, I got to tell you, man, kudos to you, man. You're doing a heck of a good job.
Thanks, man.
And you know what? The reason why I say that is that you keep calling people out, and guess what? They're coming out one by one.
You have to juke them.
And I tell you something, 3 weeks ago, maybe close to a month ago, you've been talking about, you know, that bill that they were trying to pass, and you call names. And guess what? I heard a lot of people came out. The Bar Association came out. I heard Ferguson came out. They all come out one by one. And then you talk about they having the parliament meeting today or yesterday.
But it was supposed to be today.
And they cancel it.
They had to. We made them do it, all of us.
You made them do it.
Mr. Andre Donald on 91.9, 91.5, he spoke about it, and we spoke about it, exposing what they were trying to do. Because it was plain what they were doing. They wanted to shut up the opposition voices. It was plain. So they called it sitting at a point in time when they know the opposition would be down to roughly one person to speak there, and then you might have the labor and the farming person would speak openly about the bill. We ain't too sure about what's going on, because when you start to hear a certain name calling and you realize what's going on with the business senator, you can't really trust on that in there.
And tonight, Ron Redhead have a meeting in the Northeast, and they're talking about reinstating the seed program. Just keep calling them out.
Yes, my brother. I actually have quite an extensive bit of audio and video from a meeting last night. I believe it was in St. Paul's. And there was a discussion about the seed, because a lady stood up there and she told them that what they did was wrong. And they don't seem to know what taking that 150 away and taking some people fully off the seed has done. In fact, I won't play it tonight, but tomorrow, Thursday night, we'll leave that with you all for the weekend. So tomorrow I will be playing her presentation, what she said, bits and pieces of it. I won't play the whole thing because it's nearly 10 minutes long. And I'll play the Prime Minister's response in relation to the seed program. Imagine he made the statement about the 650 again.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll play that for you all tomorrow night.
Yeah. Just keep doing it, man. Just keep calling them out.
All right, no problem, brother.
Okay, you're doing a heck of a good job. And you know what? You've been very fair. You've been very honest, because you talk about all those diplomats who got posted yesterday to different parts of the world.
Yeah, by and large.
You said some of them are good people, and you applaud them.
Yeah,
You call some good names.
I think Trisha Bethel is an intelligent young lady.
You've been fair.
Yeah, Trisha Bethel, Ian Marshall, Shea. I think these are intelligent young people. They've been given an opportunity to represent their country. I don't have a problem. I don't think anybody should have a problem with that.
You know, you give credit where credit is due, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you have to be fair. All right.
You have to be fair. I mean, we all Grenadians at the end of the day, you know?
Yes, indeed. All right. Thank you.
Brother.
Thank you very much, caller. All right.
All right.
Yes, indeed, folks. Hey, let's say a special good night to my good friend Wade. Yeah, at 94.9 We Noise Radio out there in Brooklyn. Yeah, so let me read what was sent to the police officer. So right after Sellout Jude came out this morning and sell out the teachers for, because they say, you know, the fortnightly payment coming up. So the government pushing everybody now to come and sign. We want to start paying all your. No, they could get it retroactively. Workers of Grenada, those of you working, police officers, prison officers, you all don't have to rush to sign anything because you want to start getting it on the 15th. Yeah? So you prefer to get 2% on the 15th, or you prefer to get, let's say, 4 or 5% as of the end of next month. or the following month and still get it retroactively. In other words, covering from January to now. What you prefer? You prefer take the smaller amount and you settle for that and that is the end of it and you start getting it in 2 weeks' time? Or you prefer to wait a week, wait a month, wait 2 months if you have to wait, and you get a larger amount. You're getting the amount you're supposed to get now still, get a larger amount over the extended period of time. It's up to you. But this is what the Royal Grenada Police, and I need to say that one of the negotiators on behalf of the Royal Grenada Police Force is Mr. Randy Connaught. And we see he just get ACP, eh? Yeah, we see he just get, man, just get a nice upgrade and all kind of thing. I mean, you can't go against the people after that, Randy. Randy, you can't go after, you can't mess up the boss them after they fix you up nice. So the negotiator is now the acting assistant commissioner of police, one of the negotiators, Mr. Randy Connaught. So it says the RGPF negotiations team wish to bring to your attention the current state of negotiations with the government negotiating team. Following the initial proposal of the government negotiating team of 4%, 2%, and 2%, so 4% for the year 2023, 2% for the year 2024, and 2% for the year 2025, the Royal Grenada Police Force negotiating team, along with His Majesty's Prisons Welfare Association and the unions represented in the joint negotiations arrangement, rejected that offer. So that's the police prisons, TAU, who have a few workers working in the government service there, and the Public Workers Union. They rejected because they are part of the joint negotiating team there. So back to the statement here. Our proposal too was also rejected by the government negotiating team on the grounds that they were constrained by the Fiscal Responsibility Act. We will come back to that. Right. The final offer proposed by the government negotiating team is 4% for 2022, 4% for 2020, well, 4% for 2023, 4% for 2024, and 5% for 2025. For the years previously mentioned, well, the only union negotiating on their own is the GUT, who has accepted the offer proposed by the GNT. It is against the aforementioned that the Royal Grenada Police Force negotiating team seek consensus on the way forward. It is the view of our team that we can favorably consider this new offer. Further, we are already engaged in fringe benefit negotiations. Government has also given a commitment to fully engage the issue of pay and grade. An update will be provided on the progress made. My advice to you, men and women of the Royal Grenada Police Force, en masse, tell the government negotiating team, go to hell. Yeah? You all have officers who have been acting position for over a year now. They pull the acting allowance from these officers. They refuse to reinstate it. They don't even have the common decency to say to these officers that yes, we're going to confirm you in your position and you're going to receive the acting allowance retroactively or so. They just pull it since September of last year. Now they're coming and tell you they want to come with baby face and come and tell you accept offer. They told you on the platform that they will provide pay and grade for you all. That there was the Ernst & Young report. They told you on the platform that they would deal with that soonest. They came into office and then they started to give the impression that all of a sudden Ernst & Young may be closed down, don't exist again because they can't find the report. As if they can't send a simple email and ask Ernst & Young to send it. A WhatsApp message, an email. You could find the people to get the report. But just trying to bamboozle the head because they know what that report contains in relation to the changing of the scales of pay for police officers of different ranks. So they don't want to address it. So they're trying all sort of nonsense to bamboozle on that. So if you go and you get yourself locked into this thing for the next 3 years, that's on you all. But I'm saying to you all, en masse, tell them go to hell. Yeah? They can't expect to be treating police officers like that. You think that close to 200 police officers are resigning from the Royal Grenada Police Force just like that. They're resigning just because they feel like resigning. They are resigning because of the chaos that's taking place within the ranks of the Royal Grenada Police Force right now. The chaos, whether it's the upper ranks where you could take the deputy commissioner and put him down to a superintendent, and then you appoint 2 people as assistant commissioner of police, one who was under investigation by the same Royal Grenada Police Force in relation to an incident. And don't try and tell me that is not true, because I still have the video somewhere there, right? Who was under investigation in relation to an incident. And then you have who you appoint retroactively as of the 28th of June, 28th of June, just a few days after the election, and the other one, you appoint them retroactively as of September 2022. And now you have a situation where you're coming to the same police officers, after you treating them like that, after men writing the exam and they can't get a local upgrade, they can't get a local bar, they can't get a local stripe. After all of that, after you have people acting in a position but receiving salaries for the lower position because you take away the acting position from them, now you come with a baby face and tell them, because that can't mean that you're negotiating in good faith, and the negotiating team should not be coming to the police officers and telling them that. How you could come to the police officers and telling them, you think you must look at this favorably. In other words, you're telling the police officers to sell out too. That's what you're basically saying. To the police officers, sell out. But officers, you all have to make your voices heard. These are the same people that are doing you all this. They want to give a promotion. Man working hard in the day, man working hard in the night. Man and woman. Next thing, them female officers and them say, Shalan, you ain't calling us out too, or what? We just work just as hard. But they're working hard day and night. And then the promises that you have made to them, you're refusing to keep it? Yeah? And you expect them to be okay with that and just accept? And you know the other part of this entire thing. Understand the plot and understand what they're trying to do here. They are trying their very best to try and corner now the Public Workers Union into a position that they will accept as well. So Mr. Brian Grimes, Miss Daisy Hazard, and the rest of your team, Dr. Coy and Godwin Coy, all of you, what the government is trying to do now is to corner you into a position that you must accept whatever they put on the table. Not considering the inflation rate, which I think is above 17%. In other words, the rise in the cost of living. Yeah? Notwithstanding the increase in the price of foodstuff, the increase in the price of utilities, the increases in different areas and services being offered. Yeah? The same workers, they have to pay those things too. They have to utilize the services as well. And that's not being taken into consideration. And then you say you make different moves because you're looking to lower the cost of living, and so that isn't happening. Ask the workers. So you think because you're going and give a man who earning $2,500, you're going and give him $1,250 on the 15th of April, and then on the 30th of April you're going to give him the other. You think that's going to improve his standard of living? No. Because the price of the food that he have to buy is the same. So now he could only buy half. By the 15th he could buy half, and then he buy the other half on the 30th. It's the same money he have. Because I believe there are some people out there that seem to have the impression, that paying on a fortnightly basis means that every fortnight you're going and pay the person the full salary that they used to get on a monthly basis. That ain't so. Yeah? So for those that low on the scale, that earning a $1,500, yeah, it's not like you're going to be getting $1,500 and $1,500. No, you're not. Yeah, that is not the case. So we have to understand what they're attempting to do. We have to understand what they're trying to do. So right now, we're here from the Public Workers Union. I'm sure they're in meeting and they're discussing this thing, man. Because they see what happened this morning. Yeah? GUT go and they accept it. So their workers going to get it as of the 15th of April. All nice, well and good. But now, if the Public Workers Union holds out and gets a better deal, you know what that means? it means that the workers who are working within the same GUT, they are going to benefit from the negotiation of the Public Workers Union, you know. Once the Public Workers Union gets a better deal, once they are able to negotiate for a higher percentage than what the teachers union has settled for, which I believe is 4, 4, and 5. Yeah? So if the Public Workers Union is able to negotiate and get a 4, 6, and 6, or a 4, 5, and 7, if they are able to negotiate and get that, then it means that the same Grenada Union of Teachers will get it as well. Yeah? So there are several things that are taking place here right now. And don't forget, you know, May Day coming up. So some unionists, some trade unionists want to play, they're looking good. They want to look nice, yeah? Because obviously, May Day coming up in about a month time. Yeah, they want to be able to wine and dine in the road. They come praising government. Oh, the government is doing so good and the government doing this for workers. The government fired the labor commissioner. That's what they're doing for workers. They fired the labor commissioner. They fire her. And from what I hear, she taking them to court. And from what I know, once she take them to court, she go win. And then they go have to pay her for the full duration of she contract and still pay damages. Because I don't think she go want to be reinstated. They're going to have to end up paying. Yeah? Not because the Minister of Legal Affairs and is the same Minister of Labor thinks that she know everything about law. Sometimes they go on emotion instead of common sense. So the reality is that they're going to face a lawsuit and they will lose. And me and you are the ones, we kind of like to say that when government lose a case, it's me and you that have to pay. Yeah, when they lose this one, as I know they will lose it, it's me and you that are going to have to pay. We are the ones that are going to face the brunt of this thing. All right? So that's what's happening on the trade union front. So we're waiting to hear, Mr. Grimes. I'm waiting to hear you, Papa. Or Miss Daisy Hazard. Whichever one. I'm waiting to hear all you. I want to hear what you all saying in relation to what is taking place with workers being dragged before the Public Service Commission. I want to hear what it is you all are saying and the update in relation to the workers from Carriacou and other places who have been wrongfully dismissed, not given a hearing, and not even paid for their vacation time and all of that. That you all have been fighting to bring to the attention of the Ministry of Labor. Well, at least with the last Labor Commissioner, we don't know what's going on now. But we want to know what is taking place there. Yeah? We want to hear what is taking place there. We find only a little too quiet. And Daisy, I know you could talk, and I know you ain't afraid people. But I find you a little too quiet. Mr. Grimes, I know you like to engage with workers and with the general public. Time for us to hear all your voice. All right? 440-7377, that's the number for you to call and get on to the inside. You know what, boy? Let me play my piece out again. Yes, and we have a caller on the line. Good night. Hello? Hello? I don't know what's happening on the WhatsApp line. Good night. Hello? Yeah, for some reason, WhatsApp seems to be giving a problem tonight. I don't know why, but it seems to be giving a problem.
I want to ball. I feel to cry. Sometimes I wonder why. I will see you tomorrow.
Let's try again. Hello, good night. Hello? Let me see if this is the problem. No, I'm not hearing the caller. And I have absolutely no reason why that is happening. All right, so I'll have to sort out the WhatsApp line. It seems as though there's a problem with the WhatsApp line. 440-7377, that's the number for you to call and get on the inside. If you're outside of Grenada, 347-329-3101. Yeah, they had to cancel. Caller, the WhatsApp line doesn't seem to be working. Yeah, so, yeah. They have postponed the parliament sitting for today. We know the intention is still, regardless of when they have that parliament sitting, their intention is to go forward with the data protection bill. Yeah? Their full intention is to go forward with the data protection bill. They don't intend to change anything or modify anything in it again. We hope that good sense prevails and they relook sections like sections 33, sections 20, and sections 44, among others, that they at least relook those sections. Yeah? Because there are very valid concerns. We have been speaking about it for quite a few weeks. But even after we have been speaking about it, you've heard the Bar Association join the conversation and basically been repeating the same thing that we have been saying. They have come out and they have let people know that, hey, basically what we have been saying on this program is correct. Meanwhile, you had the minister trying to tell people and trying to bamboozle people. When we were there saying, hey, under this act, there's a situation where it can be used to terrorize people. They're saying, no, that is not the case. That's sort of nonsense. Now you've heard from Dr. Francis Alexis. You have heard from Mr. Ruggles Ferguson, Casey, King's Counsel, speaking on behalf of the Bar Association. You've heard Mr. Derek Sylvester again speaking on behalf of the Bar Association. You've even heard a message that was sent out by Mr. George Worm in relation to this data protection bill, asking on the government to hold it back. So now we have heard the first part. As of yesterday, they did not have the parliament sitting. So it did not happen today. Right? That's the first part. The next part we want to hear, and we know what they're going to do. They're going to try to bury it in the news at the end of the week. The next part we want to hear is that you have pulled that bill from the parliament sitting. You have pulled that bill and are awaiting consultation with the different sectors in the Grenadian society in relation to it. And not just secretly meeting with the heads of the media association and that sort of nonsense. And up to now, today the 29th day, the media association, they even sent out a little note saying that, oh, hey, it have a problem, we have a problem with the bill, or we don't have a problem with the bill, or we met with the Prime Minister, or anything like that. Up to now, the media association still hasn't sent anything out. MWAG gone, I don't know if the tail wagging the dog or the wag dagging the MWAG, but some kind of thing taking place, because right now we can't even hear them. Yeah? You can't even hear them. Imagine this morning, you had the GUT signing that agreement. This is how silent MWAG is right now. Now, GUT and the government of Grenada signed that agreement this morning. There was a statement by the lead of the government negotiating team. There was a statement by the president of the Grenada Union of Teachers. And then the Prime Minister suddenly appeared. In my mind, it was always planned that the Prime Minister would be there, but he had to try and make a grand entrance. Like I was so busy and I took time off from a busy schedule to be there. Mr. Prime Minister, you had always planned to be there. So don't try to don't try to feed us that. We know, we understand how the thing goes. Just admit that he was supposed to be there and he was coming anyway. But came and he made a statement. And you know what they did? They did not take a single question from the media. Not a single question did they take from the media. So you had the media who was able to be there on Zoom and whatever, and not a single question was allowed. As soon as they finish signing, they just say Hail Mary and that is it. They cut. They're gone. You saw they had the diplomatic appointments. Yeah, you saw they had that. And again, all of a sudden the Zoom couldn't work, so they couldn't take questions from people who were not there. Yeah? So I know there's certain people they're afraid, There's three particular names in the media that they're afraid to take questions from for whatever reason. Kalistra Faria, Kalan Bob, and Linda Straker. Anytime you hear those three people asking questions, ministers that start to fumble and mumble. Yeah? They're afraid to take questions from these individuals. I ain't saying it mightn't have one or two others that are showing a kind of out of the way questions when they're ready that the ministers find like a bouncer, you know. But they're afraid of these. So they have been hiding out from them. So all of a sudden the Zoom can't work. All of a sudden this morning you could be having press conference. You're trying to create news, but you're not allowing people to ask pertinent questions. Again, let me ask the question here, because you're also rude and out of place, and I'm not blaming the government information service. I am not blaming them. They don't set policy. They do as instructed. So I am not blaming the staff at the government information service. They implement what they are told to implement. They are workers within the system. And if there's a policy, the policy is handed to them and they carry out the policy as it is handed to them. So I ain't blaming them. I see some people, some places blaming the workers at the government information service. I am not blaming them. I'm blaming the boss. Who is the Minister of Information? Who is the press secretary? Who deals with the government information service? So if there's policy being handed over to them, and then you have people like, what do I call him now, Ambassador? His Excellency, Orlando Romaine. Yeah, if he's in charge of things with GIS and that kind of thing. Right now, what you expect? You expect him to allow the media to ask questions so that the question could be asked, is he receiving more than one salary from the government of Grenada? Let me ask this question. One, when it comes to Mr. Orlando Romaine, the public relations officer of the National Democratic Congress and named advisor to the government of Grenada, is he receiving a salary as an advisor to the government of Grenada? If so, what is that salary and what other benefits are attached to it? Is he being provided with transportation? Is he been given a traveling allowance? Is he provided with communications? Is he provided with internet? Is he provided with things, for instance, like duty-free concession? Are these things part of the contract that's given to him? That is not he private business. That is not NDC private business. That's not Deacon Mitchell private business. That's all of us business. You all only know is all of us business very, very conveniently. So that's all of us business. So I would like to know if he's being paid an advisor, how much he's being paid, because I'm hearing some problem. I'm hearing some kind of talk out there about some of the salaries that it is alleged that some of these advisors receiving. I ain't no $5,000. It's much higher than that I'm hearing. Because I even hear who working for $10,000 and that kind of thing. $10,000, you know. They take $150 from the poorest among us, and they take people with going business interests and giving them jobs for $10,000. But we can't say for sure, because the government refuses to answer the questions that are being posed by the leader of His Majesty's opposition in the Parliament of Grenada. On 2 occasions, he asked the questions, and on 2 occasions, there was a failure to answer the questions. Yeah? Maybe when the shuffle take place, you might get answers. Yes, maybe when the shuffle take place. Only don't forget, you know, to those of you just come, a shuffle coming up. Yeah. We say we shuffling, the shuffling. Yeah. The shuffle. What? You see what? As we tell all you, all always think it now, boy. I guess something different this time. Yeah, we tell all you, all of the thing it's just it's a joker that coming out on top. Yeah? And for those of you asking, yes, I have said several times there seems to be a problem with the WhatsApp line. Yeah, so if the caller is listening, they would hear me saying now that there is a problem with the WhatsApp line. Yeah, so I'm telling you all that we want to know how much these individuals are working for and if they're getting 1 or more salaries. Yeah, because there are other things I can say, but I prefer to hold for the time being. When it comes to Miss Andrea St. Bernard, who is now a special envoy, yeah, in relation to what is it? I think it's a special envoy in relation to developmental projects, or I can't remember this thing. I'll check it in a while. But when it comes to that, I have to ask the question, when it comes to Miss Andrea St. Bernard, I know she was in CES. Is she an advisor carrying an advisory position in a particular ministry or government department at this point in time? Is she still attached to CES? If she is still attached to CES, even when she was attached, if she's not attached now, what is or was the salary that she was being paid on a monthly basis, or was she doing this pro bono? Yeah? And don't try to say it's pro bono and it was paying, because we have ways and means, eventually it must come out if you was paying. So, was she or is she an advisor to the government of Grenada? Was she, what was or is the salary that she was paid to head up the CES? Yeah? Also, what was the salary and other benefits that were accrued by her and Senator, what's his name again? Senator Britton, Quince Britton. Yeah? What were the different benefits that they had or still have that they got being attached to CES? In addition to that, we want to know if she's being paid 1 or 2 salaries by the government of Grenada. Because I can't believe that thing's so bad that you had to have people that is advisor and still had to go and make them a special envoy. So they're getting paid as an advisor and then paid as a special envoy. If they're not being paid as a special envoy, well, that is good. That is nice. Right? But then we also know, so it has to raise our eyebrows. You see me look at eyebrow? Let me see if I could raise my eyebrow. Yeah, let me raise my eyebrow. We have to raise our eyebrows and question when you take the treasurer of the NDC and give that individual a diplomatic passport. We have to ask questions, because the issues of things like, and I raised it last night, yeah, there are issues that surround them kind of thing. Because you have things like campaign financing and so on. Yeah? So we ain't know what's taking place. We can't say that is what's taking place, but we can ask questions. We definitely can ask questions. Yeah? So we want to know if Miss Andrea St. Bernard is being paid for multiple jobs. If she's receiving 1 salary or multiple salaries from the government of Grenada. We want to know the same thing about Mr. Orlando Romain. We also want to know if Mr. Orlando Romain, seeing that he's an advisor to the government of Grenada and now a special envoy, if the company that he has is doing any work for the government of Grenada. And if that is so, if he is still the main shareholder in that company, or if that company has been placed in the hands of others or anything like that. But we want to know if that company is doing Hexai, I think is the name of it. Want to know if that company, and I only know how to ask questions kind of pointedly because I'm getting at something. If that company is doing any work, either directly or indirectly, for the government of Grenada, while the person that basically owns that company is an advisor for the government of Grenada. We asking questions. We want to know. It's important for us to know. Because we finally want to answer questions on the Senate Parliament, so we're bringing it to the People's Parliament. Yeah, we're bringing it outside here. Since all they don't want to answer it inside there, we're asking them outside here. So we want to know, yeah, we want to know the salaries of the other people, because remember, when some documents leak, next thing all you have people in front of Public Service Commission, like if somebody leak all your mental state, or they leak all your blood type or some kind of thing. No, that is we business. It was asked in the Parliament. All you refused to answer it in the Parliament, so all you had to answer it some other way, right? So don't feel that all you shouldn't send out something that says, well, Ian Django Thomas, that's what all you want to pay him $5,000, whatever it is, and these are the benefits, or $4,500 or whatever it is, and these are the benefits that he's supposed to get. And the same thing with Mr. Patrick Simmons. Well, that is not we business. That is we business. You have to tell us that. If we ask, you have to tell us. If it's me and I working in a government ministry and people ask them kind of questions and it had to be answered, nobody should have a problem. I would not have a problem if that information is made public. I will not have a problem with it. I will not. I'm saying that openly tonight. If people ask me, I myself telling them. I might give them a pay slip. Because that should not be a problem. But instead, you are dragging people before the Public Service Commission. This one leak and that one leak. And ministers say that this one is friend with that minister, that ex-minister, and this one is friend with that MP, and this one is friend with Sheldon Scott. Or that one, because they monitoring phone calls, that one call him, and this one send message for him. That sort of thing. That's what they're doing. And just trying to spite people. Yeah? But they wouldn't admit, because we're hearing stories, and it better not be true. I'm issuing a stern warning to this government. It better not be true that phones of people like myself are being tapped. It better not be true, because there are serious consequences if any evidence comes out that anything like that is happening. I'm warning. Just warning. Yeah? It better not be true. Alright? So folks, 440-7377, you can call us directly. It's now 1 minute after the hour of 9 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada. You know, let me touch something nice here. Let me touch something.
We are the winning team. We are the winning team. We are the winning team. And we will deliver. We are the NNP. We will deliver. We are the NNP. We are the NNP. We will deliver. We are the NNP. What? Grenada in Shida is our. We will deliver. Poverty rising by the hour. You don't see everybody sour. What's the first? That is why we bringing back Jonah. How you mean? We will deliver. Everybody. We will deliver. We will deliver. You don't know. People wanted change, so we give them change. No, it's big horrors. They want it.
Right, we have a call online. Good night.
Hi, good night, Brother Sheldon. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm quite fine, Pastor. How are you?
Oh, doing good. Good
All
night
right.
to Grenada. You know, on the New York State bus, listening you. So hail him out. He's Bernard. Just hail him out. Hi, Bernard.
Good night, New York. Bernard, good night, sir.
Yes, man. He's listening. Yeah. Listen, you know, Brother Sheldon. Thanks so much, man. Thanks so much. You've been doing such a great job. You know, yourself and Carl, KB, and Andre. You know, you've been really doing a good job there, because I heard one of the callers calling you tonight and you know giving you kudos for exposing and opening up your mouth, and those other guys, Carl and so on. Because as a result of that, I believe that they took back and a lot of decisions that they had made, you know. Thank you so much. And thanks for speaking for the police force also, because they really need somebody to represent them, you know. They really need somebody. They are hard-working people. They are really hard-working people. And, you know, psychologically, they could be affected if no one is taking up the issues, the matters. You know, so thanks very much. Thanks very much. The other thing is that there are some names that we've been hearing during the campaign. All right? Mm-hmm. And I realized that, man, they're getting big position in the government, you know. Wondering if that's a party matter, you know. We cannot swear and say that the political organization not supposed to look out for the people, right? I believe that we ought to look out for our subjects. But at the same time, we need to be balanced, you know. Mm-hmm. We need to be balanced, and we need to take at heart that there are lots of people who are suffering, and the type of money that we are spending on these so-called quote-unquote loyal supporters, party supporters. We could do with some of this money. So I don't know why the government would not lessen and all these positions and all these board members. You know, one person, Sheldon, I check it, is on four, 5 boards, you know. Just imagine that. One person is on 5 boards, 4 boards, you know.
Well, I know one who is.
I'm looking.
I know one.
Towards the day when these things could be lessened and the people, the poor and the marginalized persons, could be looked at. You know. Again, thank you, brother. Continue your good work. And that word, you need to get hold of that word nepotism. You know. Let's deal with that. You know, nepotism.
Yes.
Look at Kai.
Nepotism, cronyism.
Construction. Nepotism. Look at the big guys in the south and the different boards that they are, the airport board, the gravel and concrete board, just name them. You know, family issues, brother. We need to take that up. God bless you. You take care.
All right. Thank you, Pastor. Yes, indeed, folks. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. We have to sort out the WhatsApp line. Yeah, something is up with my WhatsApp line. I'm going to sort it out. I think I'll be able to sort it out in a little while. Yeah, I'll have to get up and try and sort it out. Nice, but you can call in the interim. All right, nice, yeah. And we have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Cheryl.
Oops. Cammy, sorry, Cammy, call me back, please. Oh my goodness. Cammy, call me back. No. You know when your brain doing something? Yeah. Cammy, I'm waiting for your call. Call me back now. Right now. Call me back. Yeah? Camille Teresa Scott, give me a call back, please. Yeah. I made a little error there and I touched the wrong button. Nice. Let me make sure I touch the right one now, eh? Hello, good night.
I hear you.
Okay,
I hear you. Well,
right.
We make mistakes. That's all right. I'm here.
No, I know what you feel. I just
Good night to Miss Barry, Marcella daughter. Good night. I know you're listening, and to Miss Louise and all those in America who's listening to what is going on in Grenada. I hear you calling. I hear you speaking, Mr. Scott. I hear you speaking about all these people. One person there and all this board, and they're getting all this money. And the Prime Minister, Mr. Dick Mitchell, you take out 150 and the poor people money. That is why some of them, the moderators call on other radio station and say all kind of things. Why she don't talk about that? People like me suffering, and my neighbor suffering, that in getting $1 and people hungry in this country. And they're saying it's that time now. Listen to me tonight, Mr. Dick Mitchell, and all the ministers in cabinet. When you hear things that will happen to you all, don't say it's over, you know. All you bring it on all yourself. You understand? All you wicked, all these wicked people. And then are you going to church? All you say, are you going to church? And poor people in this country, Mr. Dick Mitchell, suffering. And it's not right. It is not right. And all you can't do me nothing. You talk about the police. The police and them, I just look at Charles and Mr. Peters and all these police officers that they're in the terminal, they're in the hot sun. In the hot sun every day. And they're in the police for so long, I don't even giving them a little two stripes. Eh? You're not giving them a little two stripes, but you're taking advantage. And the other police, they must go. Police officers, this is Miss Camille Teresa Scott. Go! Go in England and in place. Go in the army. Because they're not treating all your rights. And you are allowed to protect them. It's advantage. I don't know how Mr. Andrews and Miss Gloria and what she have again, the lady in labor, Miss Claudette.
Yeah.
All you have to remember, the same people that living in Grenada, and all you taking all this advantage, all you send home how much people, and all you send people lie. The amount of people that gone home, my God, have a heart. All you symbol is the heart, you know. All you remember all your nieces and nephews, and other people, children suffering, poor people suffering. You take 150. And one man there and poor board, and they're getting all this money. Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Claudius Mitchell, never do that. I'm not saying when they was there, they didn't send home people, but not as what all you doing. All you spiting people that vote for NNP. All these fighting NNP supporters, Grenadians, you know. And I hope the group in America, the NDC group in America know some of you own family suffering. They're suffering. It's that wickedness. All these wicked people, and all they want to pay. Mark my word tonight. All they want to pay for that wickedness, all they doing to the own Grenadian people. I don't say the anthem. I'm not saying the anthem. All these wicked people. NDC people are not suffering. Are you closing? Nobody taking advantage of us in the terminal. Are you closing at 8 o'clock? Are you taking all kind of advantage on people? It's wrong. And God don't like that. God don't like that. I don't want to fight against all yourself inside that parliament just now. Wait. And what then did that go come out in the light? All the bad mind people. Are you right for the Grenadian people? You tell them you go make them prominent and with a stroke of a pen. And that was what they get to go home. Remember, you all come from poor background family. Remember that. Don't spite us as Grenadians. All the spiting us. We have to pay all kind of things. All the houses. People apply for the house. Give them people the house. Give them the house. So God, have mercy. I don't know if I just could sleep in the night. Mr. Deacon Mitchell, I tell you, my name is Camille Theresa Scott. Come in the terminal. Come, I want to see you in person to tell you what I have to tell you. Face to face. I want to tell you it's wrong. You cannot do that to people, sir. You cannot do that to poor people in this country. I heard your own voice, you say, but it's poor people that build Grenada and you destroying us. You are spiteful because somebody vote for NSP. We're supposed to be one people. I don't line, and I don't see a lot of trouble. And I want the union people. Are you coming out now? Are you hypocrites? Come out and speak out. Come out and speak for the working class people in this country. Come out and speak. Are you wicked and I will see a lot of trouble? I'm not taking back that. I will see a lot of trouble. Wait, when you hear sickle cell and cancer and all these things have to take some of y'all, don't say nothing because there is a God above that watching. Yeah. Are you calling him baby Jesus or you don't see nothing yet? You don't hear in Pastor Simon, you don't hear in USF, Mr. Douglas, you don't hear in none of all you coming out and speak on the behalf of all of us in this country. And the system of us are suffering too. Not only NNP, all these bad mind people, and I know a lot of police officers, sorry they vote for y'all. A lot of teachers, sorry. A lot of public servants, sorry. They put a thing in for y'all because no one used to see the wickedness. Have a good night.
All right, Cabby. Oh gosh, one of my friends tell me Cabby get so vexed, Freddy one of these days, Cabby. No afraid, Papa, no afraid. Yes, indeed, folks, 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. As soon as the program is ended, I'll try to sort out the WhatsApp issue. I think I know what it might be, so I'll try to sort out the issue with the WhatsApp line as soon as we are done. All right, so 440-7377, that's the number for you to get and get on to the inside of tonight's program.
We are the LNP. Grenada in Shida is our. No poverty rising by the hour.
Yeah, I've been trying to multitask so much tonight. I haven't been following up on the comments out there on the live, and I'm very sorry for that, folks. Yeah, but somebody just threw me off to it.
No investment, can see no betterment. Only promising, but nothing happening. Well, homie, cause
Somebody say Orlando Romaine has so much posts he could give Grenlec to put up light. So he could lend to the program where they're doing housing and thing. Yeah, he could lend some of them posts to them for see our posts. it's like they're going into one particular gene pool when they're looking for something. So when it comes to about 2 or 3 boards, you have that name popping up. Then you realize outside of that, when it comes to the advisory position within the government and now as a special envoy for government. So it seems as though it ain't nobody else that did work to bring NDC where it is. It ain't nobody else. It's one person that did all the work to bring NDC to where it is right now. Yeah? The rest of people and them, they don't deserve nothing. Don't give them anything. Because I know, you know. I know when all you had all the thing where all you were choosing and training all the diplomats and thing. What happened to Terry and Mr. Carl Hood now? All of a sudden they ain't good enough, or all you holding on their appointment still? Well, you think we didn't know? As I said a couple nights ago, let me let all you make all your announcement. Yeah? So what going on? Huh? What going on? Because all is sending that to me. I see that already. All is sending that to me. Yo, I seen that said earlier this afternoon. And it's basically what I said last night. Come on, guys. Yeah. So I'm saying that when you look at these appointments, you look at Miss Andrea St. Bernard, you realize there's position after position after position. And yet still, all you're watching people like Punky, who work hard for all you. That's why she had to come and cuss all you out. Yes, I do not agree with most of the things she say. I do not agree with the way that she behaves and that kind of thing. But she has a valid point. You have people like her and others who contributed when some people was hiding to bring the NDC to where it is. They can't get a position. But the same people get in position over and over and over within the organization. And you find that is right. Eh? Then you realize one particular name, surname start to pop up in everything now. So whether it's a surname in the Senate or in the executive of the NDC all of a sudden, or is an ambassador, you realize, or on different boards, you realize it's that particular surname that didn't used to pop up that regular before. All of a sudden it's popping up everywhere now. I wonder why. That's why I'm saying that the gene pool really small. The gene pool really small. And when the gene pool is small, you know what you expect? Incestuous relationships. And you know what incestuous relationships cause? They cause deformed outspring. So look for the outspring of these relationships that you're seeing with the National Democratic Congress right now, where they're only working within a specific gene pool. People who understand biology would know what I'm talking about. But I'm saying, it's like if you only have just brother and sister and family members living in a particular area and they having children with each other, yeah, the children does come out deformed. And with the NDC right now, that seems to be the kind of thing that's happening. Is one small gene pool with the same people circulating. We have a call online. Good night.
Sheldon, sorry for that. I call back. The mister with the kidney problem.
Yeah.
He could pass and pick up some of the money. A lady dropped some today too.
Okay.
And I have a little in the cup there for him. So he could pass or he send his wife.
Yeah.
To collect it, please, eh?
Yeah, I know they're listening.
Yeah.
So you would make a pass.
All right.
By.
Tell him to pass and pick it up tomorrow, please, the Lord.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, my dear.
Bye.
All right. Yes, indeed. So, all you handled, good. Right. So, we see what is going on. So, I realize so all you didn't know Terry and Mr. Carl Hood was in the thing too. Nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong if Terry and Mr. Carl Hood bar fine. The name was they bar fine. All you ain't give them nothing yet. Yeah. And remember, these people announce all kind of things. They have not announced an ambassador. They announce all kind of special envoy for the creative arts and all kind of nonsense. They have not announced the ambassador for CARICOM. I wonder if they forget that one or they ain't decide on that one yet. But they didn't even say anything about it at all. It's like they ain't intend to put a CARICOM ambassador. Yeah? So they ain't even acknowledge that particular one. So I'm saying that there are things that we have to talk about as a people, but like some people don't want us to talk.
We will deliver. Bola made MNIB and Bola. There is more than Boston and Delma. Who again? Nimrod, Clement and Oliver. Who again? Clifton, Bowen, Alexandra. 15. Nicky still W, me brother. I said 15. And bring the doctors with Prime Minister.
So again, yeah, the treasurer of the ruling political party is made a special envoy, something in special envoy to go out there, yeah, and get different projects and so for Grenada and raise different money for different projects and so. But she's also the treasurer of the NDC. What stops her from raising money for the NDC when she's out there using that diplomatic passport? What stops her from doing that? How we gonna know if it ain't happening? She's the treasurer of the NDC, ain't it? So if money is had to be given, and is she gonna collect it? And remember, we have the present Prime Minister on record as saying, and I'm sorry that each time I say one of these things, I can't play it immediately. And I know I have it, but I have it on a different system than is inside here. We have the Prime Minister on record saying nothing is wrong with taking money from people in CBI for campaign. But remember, the treasurer of the NDC used to work with a company called Henley and Partners. Go on the internet, do a search to try and find out about that company called Henley and Partners. Now, Henley and Partners has been directly involved in removing governments throughout the Caribbean. That is the accusation. They were also involved with a company called, what is the name of that company? It's slipping me right now. But that company was involved in Trump's campaign in the United States. They were involved with the Conservative Party campaign in the UK. They were involved with the Brexit campaign in the UK. They were involved with the UNC campaign in Trinidad back in the year 2010, where they pushed racial hatred between the races and so to cause the UNC to win the election. All of that. These people were involved with that. And that particular company has been involved, and it is alleged that they have been funded by Henley and Partners. And the Henley and Partners agent for Grenada was one Miss Andrea St. Bernard, who just happens to now be the treasurer of the National Democratic Congress, who just also happens to be a red passport carrying special envoy of the country called Grenada. Yeah? So yeah, do a web search on Mr. Chris Kalin. Yeah? Henley and Partners. And I had the book, I was reading the book quite recently. I was reading the book. And I'm just trying to remember the name of that company that was operating down here. Yeah, I'm just trying to get the name of that company that was operating down here. Yeah, let me see if I could find. I'll find the name of that company. Yeah, let me give you all a little something too.
This one dedicated to all Grenadans. Yeah, man, wave your hands. NNB, we're marching on to victory. NNB, we're marching on to victory. Tell them again. NNB, we're marching on to victory.
You know what? We only have a half hour. 440-7377. Yes, I'm taking your calls. 440-7377. Yeah, for some reason I'm just not seeing all my information that I had in relation to that particular issue, yeah? But I'm saying it is kind of concerning that you have, it's kind of concerning to me. We have a caller online.
Hello.
Hi, good night.
Good night to you. Cambridge Analytica.
That is the company. Thank you very much, my brother. And I have been searching. Cambridge Analytica. Now that company has been involved in changing governments throughout the Caribbean. And what is being alleged is that that company would work with an opposition party to get into government or a government to stay in government. and then Henley and Partners would then get the CBI program to control the CBI program for that particular country. So they would basically tell you, hey, we've got these 10 people, we've recruited them into the CBI program, we're collecting the passport next week. That's the way that Henley and Partners would generally operate. Yeah? So they were not operating in Grenada, but Miss Andrea St. Bernard was their agent when they were, right? And we don't know. I don't know. I need to probably check the schedule and see if they are now back in Grenada operating, or a subsidiary company of theirs is now operating in Grenada. But I know for quite a while they were not operating in Grenada. And that caller has it correct. It's Cambridge Analytica. And they also had a sub-company that was working in the Caribbean under Cambridge Analytica. Same people, but they had another company that was working here. So they worked on Donald Trump's campaign. They worked on Boris's campaign in the UK for the Brexit campaign. They've done work in Africa, in different countries in Africa. They've done work in St. Kitts. They've done work in St. Lucia. They've done work in different Caribbean countries. That same Cambridge Analytica. They've done work in Trinidad. All right. So Cambridge Analytica is the political consultancy company that does work throughout the region. Yeah.
We live in a time when the rulers of men are scornful of principles of godliness.
So again, I'm telling you some things to look out for over the next couple days. 1, look out for an announcement of a cabinet shuffle or reshuffle. But as we all know, no matter which way you flip it, you will always end up with a right. No matter which way you flip it, you twist it and all kind of thing, you understand what will keep coming out on top once is, yeah, that crew that day. All right, nice. So also look out for them saying that due to the concerns raised by the Grenada Bar Association, that they are going to pull back on the data protection bill. No, they wouldn't say concerns raised by the Grenada Bar Association and others. They're going to try to put the whole thing on the Grenada Bar Association because them talk to us. We want to pull back for some consultation with them. They have raised several issues which we find pertinent. Actually, I could write the press release to them and get them that they will put out anyway, yeah. So several pertinent issues that we see necessary to be aired further before we move forward with this piece of legislation. That is basically what the press release going and say. All right, you see man rubbing off right now, but that was going and say, they start to rub off now, but we can't see that again. The man go and see that, the man mess us up, right? Yeah. So that is one part. That is one part of the entire thing, right? So you're going to hear them saying that they're pulling back on it for further consultation. All right? Yeah, they won't pull back on it. Nice? Because they know if they don't pull back it and to go with it, there is another option, the nuclear option, that can be used once they pass that bill. And again, tonight, on the 29th of March, 2023, at 9:28, I am again making that call on the Governor General, Her Excellency Dame Cécile Lagrenade, to not sign that law if it is brought before you. Not sign that bill into law. You have the option. They can't force you to sign anything. Yeah? They cannot force you to sign anything. Do not sign it. It is unconstitutional. It goes against the constitutional right of every Grenadian, including yourself. And as such, it should not be signed into law. All right, I'm just making a suggestion. Yeah, I can't tell the Governor General what to do, but I'm making a suggestion to her. And if it is signed into law, there is a nuclear option that can be used. The constitutional courts are there for everybody. It wasn't just there for the present Attorney General when she was just the PRO of the NDC. It is there for me, Sheldon Scott, too. And it's there for each and every one of you out there. So the constitutional courts are there for every one of us. So if they decide that they don't want to deal with the offending parts, nobody is saying that the bill can't be passed, you know. We're saying that they need to take out those sections that have the problem. Take it out. There's no need for them. They're not necessary. Take it out or rewrite them. Why do you need to enter a person's place and then demand from them that they answer questions to you when the person has a constitutional right to remain silent? You can't force nobody to talk. You're out of order. And even though you put a law in place that says that law is unconstitutional. And as you so eloquently explained yourself, Madam Attorney General, when you were Public Relations Officer of the National Democratic Congress, if a law in of itself goes against the Constitution of Grenada, then that law is invalid. Yeah, you said it, you know. You yourself said it. And there are sections of this bill that cause that are invalid. That cause the entire thing to be invalid. And as such, it needs to be relooked. Yeah? As such, it needs to be relooked. Nice.
Let the dollar come down to make the man on the ground. Him now screw face, him now when I'm from. Let the dollar come down to the unfortunate one. To beg no one, he does stretch no hands. Pockets are empty, the economy has plenty. Poverty is a shame and that's no game. The treasury in surplus, but the people in minus. Man a ball and hold them head cause them account in red. Stuck with minimum wage, we now move to higher stage. Poverty is a crime, so who's doing the prison time? More the people procreate, less dollar circulate. So send down the tongues high before it's too late. Let the dollar come down to make the man on the ground. Him now screw face, him now end up from. Let the dollar come down to the unfortunate one. To beg no one, him not stretch. So them say we were born poor, should leave poor, and die poor. Nothing more. While the rich get rich, a tall fence, pitbull and cameras. Desperate man still looks fi climb over. The system never truly cater for them in that strata. Though some days you may hand them $1. Check their standard of living.
Someone is asking what is taking place with the state car for the Prime Minister. I don't know what's taking place with the state car. The state car, I mean, probably they're fixing it or something. I think that's probably what's taking place there. They had to repair it and so on. Insurance could become involved and that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, because the Prime Minister of the country, they must have a vehicle for the man to move around. Yeah.
Woman work as a laborer just for $1.
But yeah, it's not the state car loading the bunks, you know. The bunks, the van and them before too. I remember once the bunks, one of them, the editor decided that maybe they need to send these guys for some defensive driving. Or at least the officers who are trained in defensive driving call one or two of them back.
So let the money come down.
Yes, SCL. That is the name of the regional grouping. That was the regional group that was working in the Caribbean region for Cambridge Analytica. Cambridge Analytica was the world body, and then you have Cambridge Analytica that was the regional grouping. I had to really fix with this mic, you know, yeah, man. I just talk a lot with my hands, so I keep hitting the mic. Yeah.
To beg no one, he not stretch no hand, come down.
Devon, a good night to you, bro. So remember 440-7377. That's the number you could call and get onto the inside.
It's a long time whenever my people balling so. It's a long time I hear Grenadian crying.
Yeah, everybody just starting to send that. Wow, that's a delay, boy. Everybody just starting to send that info for me. That means my delays are a little too long online, you know. I have to sort that out. That means the delays are a little long.
Fellas that run in the country and like they keep religion and see when you want them from something, man,
yeah, it's interesting looking at the boards of directors of some of the government bodies for real. And I need to check. I didn't check the last government gazette to see if now the Spice Mass board that's actually already up on their website, if that board of directors has been officially appointed through being placed in the Gazette. Because while I was seeing it on the website, it hasn't been gazetted, which means that the board is really not an official board right now. But I'm seeing the names up on the website already. All they're doing all kind of madness. It has to be gazetted. As I say, not everything we have to come and tell all. Listen sometimes to the people within the ministries that giving you information and telling you certain things about different aspects of how government is run. So when it comes to the different boards, it has to be gazetted. All right? Because you can have it up on the website and it ain't even in the government gazette right now. Okay? Nice. And there's just something I want to bring up in relation to the haircut. Because I think a lot of folks were kind of taken aback because some people were asking me up to this morning and so on. Some folks were calling me and asking, they're saying, Sheldon, but that doesn't include me because my business, look, I have X amount of... No, it includes you too. Once you have been doing business with the Marketing and National Importing Board, it includes you. But you know, the part that I find to be very, very interesting here is when they speak of the shouldering of these responsibilities creates significant additional unforeseen potential debt for the central government. In the release that was sent out day before, the government made that statement that the shouldering, and let me just stop this in the background here, the shouldering of these responsibilities creates significant additional unforeseen potential debt for the central government. And I'm asking myself, how is that unforeseen? Because when the Prime Minister spoke, he gave the amount of money that Marketing Board owes, you know. He said how much money Marketing Board owe to banks and all this thing. I think it was around 15 million or something. Marketing Board has assets of 18 million, but they owed 15 million. Wasn't it something like that? And then he was pointing out they owed 2 point something million here and how much million there and so. So how now? After you've gone through the process and you send home the 94 people and all that thing, you take back some to keep some of the places open and so. After you've done all of that, now you're coming to us and tell us that unforeseen potential debt? And what do you mean potential? It's debt. It's not potential debt for central government. You made the statement, Mr. Prime Minister, Minister of Finance. I know how long he's Minister of Finance for, but Minister of Finance, you made the statement that the debt stock of the Marketing and National Importing Board was such. You also made the statement that unwinding up the Marketing and National Importing Board, that you will be taking on the debt of the Marketing and National Importing Board. So how could that be unforeseen? And how could it be potential? Because you said you're taking it on. You made a commitment. So it is a burden on central government unless you're going to sell off the assets of the Marketing and National Importing Board and pay for it. So you're going to sell off the vans, sell off the buildings, sell all of that, and take the money from that and pay off the debt. But other than that, it's not potential debt, it's debt. So where do the two words unforeseen and potential come in there? I'm still trying to understand that. Where do those two words, unforeseen and potential, come in the whole discussion in relation to the Marketing and National Importing Board and the debt that's there? You said we are going to take over the Marketing and National Importing Board, and as such that means we'll have to take over the debt. So it's not unforeseen. You foresaw that. You see that before. You know because you said it when you spoke all around the island. When you were making a presentation, you were saying how much it have, how much it costs, how much you had to spend on a monthly basis to keep it afloat. You said all these things. You gave out all the figures and so on. From when you met with the staff, right down. So how all of a sudden now you didn't know? And it's potential debt. No, it's not potential debt. It is debt. Yeah? And now you're asking people to take that 50% haircut. Again, I'm calling on the government to please consider it, scale it, so that people who are owed under a certain amount, they don't fall into this thing. Because I heard this morning of somebody that's owed about $8,000-9,000, and now they're worried that all they're going to get is half of that. So they either get a $4,000, $4,500. That's what they're going to receive. And I believe that is unfair to that individual. That's a small producer. That's not a person that, I mean, come on, man, it's a small business they're running. So you cannot treat them in the same way you would treat a cooperative bank or a public bank. You can't treat them the same way you would treat a Petrocarib or one of these agencies, and so with hundreds of millions or even billions of dollars in them. You cannot treat mommy or daddy who making the local sugar cake and fudge and thing about selling it through marketing board, or they making the cassava cake, cassava bread and so, and sell it, whatever they were doing. You can't treat them the same way. You can't treat the farmer that just have a couple acres and was trying to get sale for some of it and was passing it through the marketing board, and you owe him. You can't ask him to take a 50% haircut. That is unfair. That is unfair. So this thing should be scaled, because it says in that release, in light of the foregoing, the government is offering a 50% haircut on the outstanding claims to all secured and unsecured creditors. On them, that includes places like Grenlec, Nawasa, and them too, if they had to take a 50% haircut. And what would the damage be? If Grenlec and Nawasa, I'd love to see those figures of if Marketing and National Importing Board is owing those entities, and the volume, and if they are included in that as some of the creditors, and if they're being asked to take a 50% haircut too. It would be interesting to note that. But again, just the wording of this, saying that significant additional unforeseen potential. No. You knew. You knew. That's not unforeseen. You knew. You knew that was the debt. You knew you had to pay it. Yeah? So don't come and give the impression now like, oh, we closed down the thing and now we find out how much it really. No, you knew that before. Yeah? Let me read the entire thing for you all. It says, as a direct result of the prolonged poor operational and financial performance of the Marketing and National Importing Board, the Cabinet of Grenada approved the dissolution of the entity, including the assumption of all secured and unsecured liabilities of the Marketing and National Importing Board. The shouldering of these responsibilities creates significant additional unforeseen potential debt for the central government. The government is therefore seeking to undertake a comprehensive and collaborative restructuring of Marketing and National Importing Board debts by the end of May 2023. This includes the repayment or refinancing of these debts in terms and conditions that are consistent with the government's fiscal space. In light of the foregoing, the government is offering a 50% haircut on the outstanding claims to all secured and unsecured creditors. The Marketing and National Importing Board of Directors has provided a list of all outstanding MNIB debts to the Ministry of Finance. During the month of April, the Ministry of Finance will seek to verify all debts owed by the entity. All creditors are therefore requested to submit evidence of claims to the following email address: mnibdissolution@gov.gd on or before April 30th, 2023. The Ministry of Finance thanks all relevant stakeholders for their kind cooperation in this regard and looks forward to a speedy conclusion of this exercise. Now, let me warn here of another aspect of this. This also means that all of you who have outstanding bills with the Marketing and National Importing Board, don't take chance. Get your bill, scan it, or if you have it in a digital format, and email it to them at that email address that I've given out. mnibdissolution@gov.gd. Email it to them, because you may very well find that after sending out this notice, that if you do not follow what they have said in this notice, that they may use that as the excuse not to pay you. You understand what I'm saying? So they have said that the process for you to be paid is that even though they've sent your information most likely over to the Ministry of Finance, that what you ought to do, what you should do, is also provide a copy of that invoice to them via the internet. Send it over to them again. You may have a copy of the invoice at home. Also, send it to them on that email address, and do so within, don't even wait for the next 32 or so days. do it within the next 10 days or so. If I was you, I'd try to do it as soon as possible. I wouldn't even let a week finish before I send out something like that. All right? So make sure that you all send that information out to them so that they don't have any excuse that you will be paid. All right? So remember, the email address is mnibdissolution@gov.gd. So mnibdissolution@gov.gd on or before the 30th of April, or contact, there should be people around there still. Contact somebody, ask them the email address, send the info, and after you send it, please call and confirm that they've received it. Yeah? Don't wait until you ain't get paid at the end of May, and then you find out, well, no, I made a mistake with the email address and it didn't go and think. No, let's not go down that road. Make sure that you send the information in. But again, I'm calling on the government. For everybody under 50,000, don't ask them people to take haircut. That is poor people. That is people that need the money. Don't ask them to take a haircut. Come on, man. You want a man take a man, you have a 10,000 for the man. It's not like he have a multi-million-dollar business. You understand? You all go ask him to take a haircut. And then someone just asked me a pertinent question here. What about the people that don't have an email address to email that in? Is it possible that they can bring their invoice in? Do they have to bring it to the Ministry of Finance? Do they have to bring it to the Marketing and National Importing Board? You see the reason that these people need to have press conferences, that questions could be asked. But they don't want to have press conferences because there's always some kind of trick behind what they're doing. For instance, remember, just within days of them closing down the marketing board, remember they went and they asked the staff to take voluntary separation. You know how an evil, wicked, and disgusting act that was? That they passed around a list asking the staff to take voluntary separation, in other words, to resign your work. You know what those staff would have lost? Here's what would have happened. The NIS announced just about a week after that, after they tried that with the staff at Marketing Board, that they now have an unemployment benefit. So if you have been working with a company, the company closed down or so and you lose your job, right? Or the company downsizing and they send you home, you can apply to the NIS and you can get an unemployment benefit. So you can get a little payment from the NIS on a monthly basis until you find a job again. I can't remember if it have a specific amount of time as 6 months or 1 year, but you must actively be within that time. You must actively be looking for a new job. All right? So the NIS has this in place. The damn wicked people who went and tell them take voluntary separation in Marketing and National Importing Board knew that was coming on board. And they knew that if these people took voluntary separation, that they would not qualify for that benefit under the NIS, because it is clear under that new thing that is given by the NIS that if you have separated from the company voluntarily, in other words, you sign and you say I resign, or I quit, I leave, go to hell, I gone from here, whatever it is. But once you have taken voluntary separation from the company, that you have nothing to get under that. So Marketing and National Importing Board workers who have left the Marketing and National Importing Board, who were sent home by them, you all can now apply under the NIS under this program, and you all should be able to receive a benefit. And there are also other benefits you would have given up had you taken voluntary separation. It was a vile, disgusting, and wicked act to ask these people to take voluntary separation. That was evil. Pure evil. Because they didn't care anything about these people. What they cared about is what money they perceived themselves as saving by doing that to those people. That was a wicked thing to do. No if, what, or but about it. I'm sure some of you saw the ad from the NIS, so you all know that now the NIS is giving that unemployment benefit. But none of those marketing board workers would have been able to benefit from that now if they had taken voluntary separation. If you take voluntary separation, or if you are fired for wrongdoing, you do something wrong in the place and you're fired, then you cannot apply for that thing under the NIS. But once it is that the place has closed down, or they're winding up and they send you home or something like that, then you can apply under the NIS and you could receive that payment. But you must actively be looking for new employment during that period of time. So I just thought I'd point that out as well. Yeah? So again, please, only the people under, I would put it at 50,000. Anybody under 50,000. I remember years ago, with Cap Bank, they had people who had a certain amount of money, under a certain amount of money in the bank. The government came and the government gave back those people their money. So people who are looking for 400, look at this, look at that. The government of Grenada gave these people back their money. You understand? So you went in, you signed, they gave you back your money. People over a certain amount, you know, they still had to wait to the outcome of the case and all of that. But people under a certain threshold were given back their money. And I'm saying when it comes to the creditors now, the Marketing and National Importing Board, I believe it is a vile, wicked and disgusting thing to ask people, poor people, that are owed money that may not be significant to you, but is very significant to them, to ask them to give up that money. I don't think it's fair to them at all. I don't think it should be done. All right, folks, we're quickly winding down into the last few minutes of tonight's program. Yeah, quickly winding down into the last few minutes of tonight's program.
NMB, St. George's to St. Andrews, St. Patrick's to St. David. Chantimel to Mount Craven, La Mort to St. Mark.
And people, Bernadette is saying, why they don't suspend the 24,000 a year that they're getting extra. My dear, they have been making a case and saying that they need more money. I would not be surprised at all that at the same time that you have the public workers finally settling for whatever they are settling for, that government ministers also take an increase. Let me just say that again. I would not be surprised when the Public Workers Union and the other unions finally settle for whatever increase that they will be receiving, that the government ministers also take an increase at the same time, because they keep saying that the money ain't enough, the money ain't enough, the money ain't enough. Yeah? So money ain't enough for them, but other people must take a 50% haircut. Yeah, they ain't getting enough. They get 24,000 additional non-taxable. $24,000 that they don't have to pay tax on. Additional. That they don't have to pay a cent tax on. Right? They didn't take it as part of the salary. They take it as traveling. And you don't pay tax on your traveling allowance. So that's where they take it. Right? And now you have that situation that they're asking other people, while they're taking more for themselves and still saying, after they take the 24,000, they're still saying that the salary too low. They don't have enough. They need more. That's what they're saying still out there. So after they're saying that now, they're asking other people to take a 50% haircut. Now, is that fair? Do you think that that's fair in any way? So I said, I don't think much people realize what they tried to do to those workers just before they left Marketing and National Importing Board by asking them to take voluntary separation. And there was absolutely no benefit to a worker at the Marketing and National Importing Board if they took that. And the government, who was the one behind asking them that, the Deacon Mitchell administration, was fully aware that the NIS was about to roll out that unemployment benefit. So these people would have been out in the wilderness. They would not have received the amount of money that they got by not signing it. Yeah? They would not have received the amount of money that they received as a payoff. And they also would not have been able to benefit from the unemployment benefit as they can benefit right now. So they just need to go into NIS and sign up for that and everything should be hunky-dory there right now. Okay? Nice. So as I said, we're into the final few minutes of tonight's program. Yeah, we're into the final few minutes of tonight's program, and I know can't be like that one, so I'll give you all this one as I'm leaving.
I'm tired balling. Let me alone.
Folks, as I said, there are quite a few things that we have to play, and we're going to play it tomorrow night. Because I want you all over the weekend. Yeah, we still haven't started the Friday program. Don't worry, it's coming. And some other programs as well. But there are some things that I want to leave with you over the weekend. So I will be putting them together tonight and during the day tomorrow. So yeah, somehow if you call me and if I ain't get me, it's because I have one headphones and a dong in it. Yeah, trying to do what I have to do. So sometimes you might call and you mightn't get me. But we're going to put that together so tomorrow night we would be able to discuss all of those things. All right?
We go bring back NNP. Time to fire the new driver because the new driver can handle green head. People balling can't take it no more.
We want back the old driver.
Till he better give us the key and go.
Yeah, just remember, I tell all, yeah. Shuffle. Yeah, right.
Driver.
We don't want you driving for we no more.
It's coming. Whether in a few days or a few weeks, it is coming. You already GJ and Father reach from right down there in Monrouge, you know, Mr. PM. Just down so and wrong so, yeah. It even have a back road you could pass, you know. Them drivers of yours might know, but it have a back road you could pass to, and yeah, it bus out by the airport there and down the road, you know.
Now they come back with the same story about the briefcase.
Yes, Chief. Yeah, the gene pool kind of small when it comes to who they're choosing for things when it comes to the NDC. So when you look at the board of directors and so, remember they said they would have young people on all these board of directors? No, set of retirees again too. Yeah.
They're feeling big up.
And believe me, I don't have a problem with elder people having a position on boards and so on. I don't have a problem with that. But the NDC are being hypocrites because they said young people were not getting the opportunity and so on. But when you look at the board of directors, they had a training the other day. We showed you the picture the other day. When you see who's there, it's a bunch of retirees again. So it's just talk from one side, you understand? You ask who are the people appointed by the NDC administration, and they answered that one in Parliament. When they asked for the ages of the people, they give an age range. So the age range, I think, was between 40-something and 70-something or so. I have to double check that.
We want back the old driver.
Bring him back.
Wait yet again, bald head. and let me make it clear. I do not have a problem with a government or a financial institution, whoever asking for a haircut. That's one thing. You can ask for haircuts and that kind of thing. But you must consider the people on the lower rung of the ladder. The people who don't have that spending power and kind of living basically month to month. So you might look at that $3,000 or $4,000 there and think that's a lot of money for that person. But they're living basically month to month, paycheck to paycheck. Yeah? So that's not a lot of money for them. Right? So you have to consider that. You can't ask them to take a 50% haircut too.
People balling can't take it no more.
We want back the old driver.
They say you better give us the key and go.
We want back the old driver.
The bus on is stalling and moving slow.
We want back the old driver.
We don't want you driving for we no more.
We want back the...
Folks, so we're looking for a release soon, Benny? What? Joker again? I'll pull that pack again, them. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being with you. We'll be here tomorrow night with more Talking Points for you. All right, and you know we're doing look at things in the studio, trying to change around things, and so you see I shifting every 2 minutes because I change up the seating and trying to before I do the program stand up. Now I'm trying to do it. I look at sit down and think, but I find I like it when I stand up too. So we change around things a little bit in the studio from time to time. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points. It's been wonderful being here with you, and everything you say and do it safe and secure. We want to be speaking to and with you, and not about you. Love each and every one of you. I am out of here.
So boy, na 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 na, yellow goodbye. Na 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 na, yellow goodbye. What the people want? Green. What Grenada want? Green. What Carrico want? Green. Pity Matnik want? Green. And the people can't take no more. Yeah, the belt is too much a blow. Only below belly they punching. Granny and the gun they groaning. Since yellow get the power, they touch a little French and mama. So she calling on the way, please. Bring back Jonah to save Grenada. We want back Jonah. Bring back Jonah. We want back Jonah to save Grenada. What the people want? Green. What Grenada want? Green. What Carrico want? Green. Pity Matnik want? Green. Na 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 na, yellow goodbye. Na 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 na, yellow goodbye. She said, tell the world, don't worry. Just bring back Jonah Bowie. We give in to for the price of one. He get into the yellow man. Man, you know that don't have a plan. Why the hell they take the island? Now Grenada in misery. Only Jonah could rescue him. We want back Jonah. Bring back Jonah. We want back Jonah to save Grenada. What the people want? Green. What Grenada want? Green. What Carrico want?